This is my recap and reaction to UFC 324, Gaethje versus Pimblett. Starting it off with Adam Fugit and Ty Miller. This was a banger, dude. For as long as it lasted, these guys were throwing down, you know. You gotta respect the boy Fugit. He's kind of set up to lose in these fights, and he does not fight like he's trying not to lose, you know. He fights like he's trying to fucking win, bro. He's throwing those body kicks, boxing, but Ty Miller landed a clean spinning elbow that I believe cut open Ty Miller at one point, but Ty just had the better boxing, sharper boxing, dropped him, and then followed up, kind of had a Fugit doing the chicken dance a little bit, one of those like delayed finishes where you can tell he's kind of cooked, like it's over, but he hasn't landed the cleanest shot to put him out. Landed a nasty knee and then a left hook, I think, or maybe a right hand, some ground and pound, and it was it. 1 second to go in the first round. Brutal for my boy Fugit, but good fight, good win, great way to start the card off. Yeah, starting it off hot. And Ty looks good. I don't think he's, like a top 10, top 15 kind of guy, but definitely will put on some fun fights, I believe, in the welterweight division. Yeah. Next up, Freeman going against Josh Hokit. This was such a weird fight. Not really. Freeman, I thought he was supposed to be kind of good, but he looked awful. So bad, like Hokit really is. He's kind of like a speed maxer, he's kind of abusing the fact that all these heavyweights are fat and slow as shit. Like, look at Freeman. You could just tell in there, like, damn, this dude's like a different weight class, low-key, than Josh Hokit. But it allowed Hokit to be fast, quick, and fucking have a way better cardio, too. Hokit immediately shot in, started off strong, took Freeman down multiple times, just rode the body lock, and then was landing some pretty decent, like, ground and pound, really good knees to the body, sneaky good body shots, knees to the body, and he was just on him, dude, like white on rice, bro. I think, did he almost sub him at one point? I remember he almost had him finished, and then Freeman, like, got up, but it was kind of like a Marab thing, where he's just on you, and so he lets you get back up, just so that he can take you down again, and it fucking gasses you out, so Freeman was cooked. Within, like, fucking 1 minute of the fight, bro, like, he was done, his cardio was shot. Yeah, Hokit, good stepping knees, good hooks, sharp boxing, just fucking rocked Freeman, kind of like the last fight, just rocked him over and over, kept landing good shots, good combos, and then could have finished him at the end of the fight, but then he just flipped him off and, like, walked away, and then the ref still called it. It was a weird stoppage, but Freeman wasn't winning that shit, bro. He was done, so great showing from Hokit, and I liked the post-fight speech. He is totally copying Chael Sonnen, but I missed that shit, man. Like, and it was good, bro. It was good. It was pretty funny and, like, kind of creative and low-key, like, in that moment, talking to Joe Rogan, being able to, like, say all that shit with no stutters. It's kind of impressive, bro. Like, I would forget half the fucking rhymes. The fucking call-out made no sense. I think it would be a good matchup, him versus Waldo, but really shooting up the rankings, although it is heavyweight, to be fair. But, yeah, I enjoyed it. I like a little Chael Sonnen vibe, even if he's just straight up ripping him. 99% of post-fight interviews are just boring, Next up, Alex Perez, Charles Johnson. This was nuts. Perez really got that dog in him, bro. Did he miss weight for this fight? Did he? Fuck, I forgot. But yeah, Perez he was on demon time, bro. Just putting that fucking pressure on Charles Johnson. Didn't let him breathe at all. Landed a nasty left hook, which like froze Johnson's face. Like if y'all have seen Woodley versus Wonderboy 1, when Wonderboy gets dropped and his eye kind of goes like half his face is frozen. Charles got that shit did to him. His face was like all cooked up, but you could tell that was a strong fucking hook that did some real damage. And then ever since that first knockdown, like he landed a nasty follow-up ground and pound shot too. And then you could tell Johnson was just done, bro. He was still in there. He was still fighting back, but bro was not putting his hands up. And it's kind of weird because usually Johnson can move really well and defend a lot of boxing combos, like move his head. Like usually his head movement is so fucking good and he rarely gets hit clean. But Perez was just like, had a magnet on his chin, bro. Just fucking landed these just sharp, technical, good hooks. Charles Johnson went for a knee, and then boom, Perez just bombed a left hook. Johnson didn't have his hand up, and he fell like face first, and that was it. That was the end. Good stoppage, in my opinion. He wasn't out fully, but bro, he got knocked down like 3 times, and then he was trying to wrestle him as Perez was fucking celebrating. Which, I'm glad the UFC finally copied the PFL and got the ref game in there, because that was pretty funny to watch. But yeah, great win from Perez. Did not expect that at all. I don't think a lot of people were juicing Perez, and he made it look easy, so really good win from Perez. But yeah, Charles Johnson, he's just one of those guys, bro, that just beats really good fighters, then loses to not as good fighters. Like, he's just so hard to predict, Next up, Nikita Krylov, Mateusz Bukauskas. This was such a weird fight, too. Krylov looked terrible, bro. Like, I still see how he gets sleeped by anyone in like the top 5 when he's in the exchanges. In these exchanges, excuse me. Yeah, he looked terrible, bro. His chin was wide in the air the whole time. I know it's like MMA, it's not like boxing where it's like, oh, you gotta put your hands up. There's different styles and stuff, but the way Krylov was throwing, it didn't seem like him not having his hands up was like serving him. Like, it just seemed like he had bad technique. But that being said, Bukauskas couldn't find his chin, and whenever he did, I mean, these guys are scrapping, bro. They were actually throwing down. The crowd was booing, but I thought it was a pretty good fight. It was an ugly fight, kind of like the main event, honestly. But they were throwing down, dude. Both these guys were swinging bombs. And yeah, even when Krylov got hit, tanked him, kept going forward, pretty competitive over those 3 rounds. Bukauskas really did not look that good, bro. Like, the way Krylov was throwing, I feel like he should have slept him, but yeah, they're both just kind of swinging and banging. And then, fucking 3 seconds to go, they're like, alright, let's go, let's scrap. Krylov throws a jab, overhand right, as Bukauskas is throwing. What was he throwing? I forget if he was southpaw or not, but he was throwing a punch at the same time. Didn't have his hand up, chin just kind of straight up. Boom, clock shit. And then he started to get back up, and Krylov just kind of tracked him like he had aimbot. And then, boom, just one punch. Folded Bukowski's, beautifully placed right on the chin. Bukowski's face first into the canvas. Awesome knockout. Honestly, I was so hyped when this happened, bro. Because, like, it was a good fight, but it's like, the KO streak is gonna end. Oh, shit. And then, boom, 3 seconds left. Just puts him out with the overhand right. So, I like the call out. He called out Jan Blachowicz. I think that's a great matchup. I would love to see that one. Next up, Atiba Gautier and Andre Boliev. Boliev looked good. And this is kind of like I had a feeling there might be something like this. I did not think he'd make it to decision, but he is, like, Boliev isn't a bum. He went to decision with fucking CLD. But you could tell he just didn't have the power to get Atiba to really respect him too much. Got dropped like 4 times in the first round. But, he had some good moments later in the fight. Was cracking him with the left overhand. Nasty body and head kicks from southpaw. Kind of landed with the toes. And Atiba Gautier's head. When I was watching this fight, I was thinking, like, Gautier, you know, he's really good. He's got kind of like that Taboria Palaos kind of stance where they're boxers. They like that right hand, that like stepping right hand. Which, dude, I gotta figure out how these guys, maybe it's just because they're jacked, but like the way they move, it's just like, you can tell everything they land is solid, you know. Was kind of spamming that right hand, like left hook, right hand, and Boliev was getting out of the way. He kind of had like a weird defense where he'd put his hands up, kind of like shell, but it worked well. You know, he got it clean a couple times, but had a great chin, got dropped, but was always like awake and aware. And then, yeah, dragged the fight out. Gautier kind of slowed down in the second and third. So, you know, decent win. Looked good for sure, but yeah, I think Boliev was just kind of underestimated in this matchup. One thing I want to bring up before moving to this next fight is the fucking Charles Johnson fight, dude. Or, not, god damn it, I keep getting mixed. The Michael Johnson fight and Alex Hernandez. I was pissed because I had to bet on Hernandez, and then the betting lines move, and it's like, oh shit, what the fuck? That's a little sus. And then the UFC fucking calls the fight off, bro. Like, what's the point? Literally, what's the point? I understand if there was money that people were gonna lose, you know, and the bookies run everything. But they pulled the fight on all the betting platforms. I don't even know if I got refunded for that shit, bro. I gotta check. But like, okay, no one can bet on it half the fight. It's not like the arena's gonna fucking explode if they fight. There's no money on the fight anymore. Why does it matter if they fight or not? Like, I hate that it got pulled, bro. It's fucking bullshit. But yeah, interesting times. I don't know why they would try to rig that fight, especially when the odds are so close. And it's such a big card that everyone's looking at. Like, whoever leaked that is dumb as fuck, and just sucks that kind of shit makes us lose a fight on a card that kind of needed. Like, that would have been a banger, bro. I was looking forward to that shit so much, but yeah, weird times. I think it's like a symptom of the sport getting bigger and more money being put on all these fights, you know. Next up, Umar versus Figueiredo. This fight went pretty much exactly how I expected it to. Literally just expect is gonna happen. I thought Umar would grapple a little bit more, and Figueiredo was more successful in the grappling than I expected, but and the fact he missed weight is kind of crazy at fucking bantamweight. But yeah, like, just went exactly how was expected, bro. Fucking boring ass fight. Umar's good. It's a high level fight, but they just didn't fight for 90% of it. Like, totally justified to be in the prelims. Next up, Silva, Arnold Allen. Now this was a banger, dude. I forgot how good Arnold Allen is. That first round, he was moving beautifully. Every time he threw a shot, or even didn't throw a shot, he was constantly moving, feinting, and like changing directions. So Gene had to like readjust, like his footwork in distance management was so good. He had good volume too. He was just controlling the range, landing good punches, good kicks, throwing up that body kick, high kick. He had kind of like a weird front kick slash head kick that he'd go for. That didn't really land much, but yeah, Silva was kind of tentative in the first round. I thought he was like trying not to gas himself out, but then started to get his reads as the fight went on. Second round was a lot closer. Gene started landing a little more, swinging those fucking right hands. And I think visually, like, just Arnold, I don't think he got hit clean that much by Gene Silva, honestly. Like, his defense was really fucking good. But Silva did start to kind of control the fight more, and Arnold couldn't land his volume as much as he wanted to. And as he did in the first round, I think he also started gassing a little bit once Silva started putting the pressure on him. And then the third round, Arnold didn't really do much. You could tell he was pretty gassed, but regardless, they stayed technical and scrappy throughout the whole fight. It was a really good fight. Gene Silva fucking clip farmed to the third round, I think. Had Arnold down in like a front turtle, and bro just stepped on him and fucking jumped off. That shit was so funny. But yeah, fun fight. One of the better fights on this main card. Next up, Natalia Silva, Rose Namajunas. Went exactly how I fucking imagined. Was it a robbery? I don't know. I was watching it, but I was spacing the fuck out because there was no moment where either of them were like, alright, I'm gonna fucking try to win this fight. They were all just trying to land the better fucking cross to the body or lead leg, head kick or teep. It was just technical, schmechnical fucking sparring match, bro. Boring ass fight. I think Silva gets half-guard camped by Valentina. Kinda sad what the higher levels of these women's divisions are becoming, bro. It's just rough. Speaking of rough, Waldo, Cortez Acosta, Derek Lewis. This fight was fucking one of the worst fights I've ever seen. One of the pound-for-pound funniest knockouts, though. Neither of them throw anything. They're both tentative, circling around. Derek Lewis is waddling around, flat-footed sail per usual. And Acosta doesn't even land a jab, just like barely touches Lewis. A lot of people are saying his fucking ACL went out. The jab put him off balance. It was literally just his shitty footwork, bro. Like, he just took a bad step to where all his weight was on his heels, and he didn't have that back leg behind him to support him. And I think the jab kind of made him pull back a little bit at the same time, and bro just fell on his ass. And then instead of trying to get back up, wrestle up, or at least be in like a defensive jiu-jitsu position, to where he's got his knees to his chest, that's what he did. Acosta hopped on him. Fucking boom, 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 boom. Good ground and pound, to be fair. Put out Derek Lewis. One of the funniest, but saddest and weirdest knockouts I've ever seen. Yeah, kinda sucks, bro, because I thought this fight was gonna be pretty good. Speaking of fights I thought were gonna be pretty good, Sean O'Malley, Song and Dong. This fight sucked dick, bro. Sean O'Malley's my favorite fighter, but I gotta keep it a bug. This was one of the worst fights I've seen, bro. Like, they're both so good. They're both really good fighters, but they are both so afraid to fucking commit to anything, dude. 67 strikes surprises me. I feel like that's fake, dude. Because, yeah, O'Malley feinted. It was a battle of the feints, bro. And they both have good feints. O'Malley has good, switch stancing and movement and shit. Yadong had like one decent takedown, but didn't really do anything with it. O'Malley was trying omoplatus and shit. Tried that guillotine too, I think, at one point. But yeah, just outside of range, both feinting at each other. O'Malley didn't want to commit to like a jab and get, countered with an overhand, so he's just throwing stomp kicks and fucking front kicks. And then Yadong was just bouncing around and just swinging left hooks, just swinging the hardest fucking left hooks you've ever seen. And then not following up at all. Just feigning at range, bouncing around, one left hook, that's it. One left hook, that's it. It was just sad, bro. Honestly, they were both just so afraid to engage. And it was just kind of like a nothing burger fight, bro. I never thought I'd see the day where O'Malley has a fucking nothing burger fight, especially against Yadong, bro. This was supposed to be a banger. Really disappointed in this fight. But I do think Sean won. And not just because I had a bet for Sean O'Malley by decision, but I think he genuinely won, bro. He did enough in the first and the third, I think. I don't know. It was 2 rounds to 1, pretty obvious to me. Oh yeah, the fact they gave Gene Silva, one of the judges gave Gene Silva the first round is actually criminal. He didn't do shit that first round. It looked like he hurt Allen at the end of the round, but he didn't really. Like, that was insane to me. Anyways. Yeah, I think O'Malley won. I think it was the right decision, but just a really fucking dull fight, bro. But good for my boy, Sean. Next up, the main event of the evening. What a banger, dude. This kind of cleansed the rest of the main card. Because, bro, these early prelims were generational. Like 4 knockouts in a row, 3 of which being round 1. And then this main card was just stinky, bro. Started off strong. These 3 fights were trash. And then main event, insane. I don't know what the fuck Patty Pimblett's game plan was. I don't know why bro didn't wrestle at all until he got hurt and needed to, and then even then he only shot 2 takedowns. It was crazy. But that being said, Gaethje's grappling did look good. The couple times Pimblett tried to go for a takedown. But yeah, I just don't understand why Patty was like, left hooks, no France. And he was fighting like he used to. He used to always just like try to grab and kind of plod forward and just like move his head in the firefight. And he always ducks his head so far off center line, bro. He's got a really weird style. But yeah, he was fighting like he was blind, bro. Like he was just trying to touch Patty so he knew where he was at, and then swing the biggest meaty fucking hooks you've ever seen. And Patty was low-key eating them shits. He got dropped a couple times, a lot of times. Face was busted up, but he was still throwing good knees down the middle, good uppercuts, like he was doing pretty good. Just didn't have that power that fucking Gaethje's got. I thought he was gonna get finished, honestly, at one point, but Patty stayed in there, did get eye poked like twice, which is pretty rough, and the ref missed one of them. You kinda hate to see that, but when Justin's like trying to palm and like grab his face, you know that's gonna happen. Yeah, interesting fight, but I loved it, bro. Kinda felt like an old UFC fight to me. Just two dudes scrapping it out, just swinging and banging. But yeah, you know, the sentiment I was feeling that seems to be shared by a lot of people is Armin and or Ilya would destroy both these guys, bro. Like, it really kind of exposed how much of a Mickey Mouse title this fight was. But I'm not complaining. I had a great time watching this. It was awesome watching my boy, Big Justin Gaethje, get back in there and kind of return to his old form. Kind of surprised this went to decision though. But yeah, really good fight, banger fight. Not the most technical, and these guys are definitely not the two best lightweights in the world. That is for sure. But really happy for my boy, Big Doofus. Fucking up Patty, bro. Someone finally did it, you know? Someone finally took advantage of him fucking leaving his chin open. But that being said, he might be onto something, bro. Patty was not capping what he said. Scouses don't get knocked out. Like, I kind of believe him now, bro. He ate a lot of fucking hard shots, dude, and still got in there. So yeah, overall started off strong as fuck. Also, fuck Paramount, bro. I gotta hit like 3 buttons just to watch it. On ESPN, it shows up on the main page. You click one button and you're in the stream. I gotta click through like 3 different fucking things to scroll like back and forth like 10 seconds. Just didn't work half the time. The other half of the time it was laggy as fuck. So you'd press it like 5 times and then you'd wait like a couple seconds and then it would go through and then it wouldn't and then it would. And they were showing fucking ads during all of the walkouts. So it's kinda hard to know that. Goddamn, I can't speak. It was like hard to know when the next fight's gonna be. It was hard to time it. There was so much time in between fights, but I think that's because there was like 4 cancellations, and then there's 3 first round knockouts in a row. Like that, I understand. Oh my god, fuck. That I understand. But the ads during the corner work in the fucking co-main event pissed me off, bro. Like on the prelims, okay, whatever. But the co-main event, I want to hear what the fuck Timbo was saying to Sugar, bro. You know? I hated that, dude. It was so annoying. And you could tell they're like, oh, you know, we won't run ads for the entire. And it's like, put a visual ad, put the fucking gay-ass monster, zero sugar energy fucking ad banner thing up. Don't replace the fucking audio so I can hear what Timbo's saying. Like, fuck you, bro. What's the point of even showing it on screen if you're just gonna fucking like dub over the audio some retarded fucking so much. It was pissing me off, bro. Because that's a big part of the fight is like the corners in between rounds. You know, seeing what advice they give, how the fighter's feeling, how they're looking, how the corner's reacting. Like, it's a big part of the fight game. And the fact that they just put ads over that shit is fucked, bro. And the player was just slow as hell. Like, I'm disappointed, bro. I thought it would be better. I hope they fucking reduce it, but honestly, they're probably just gonna increase the amount of ads. I don't think it's going down anytime soon, so kind of unfortunate, but overall, I'd give this card like a 6. 6 out of 10. Main card kind of stunk, but first fight and last fight kind of held it up. Amazing start to the card. 4 knockouts in a row, really fun. And then a couple of stinkers from then on. So there's a good mix of, good knockouts and decent decisions, boring decisions. So I'd go like a 6, like a 5.86. And yeah, dude, next week, another pay-per-view. Pretty excited, but again, man, these cancellations. No good, dude. No good. No bueno at all. But it was fun to have the UFC back. I had a great time watching these fights. I hope y'all did too. Let me know what you thought of this card.